what's unique about Klal Yisrael, that we have each other. We have each other, and I think that that's something that's very, very. There's no coincidence. It's something that's in this week's Parsha, because the Psukim tell us something that as the Bnei Yisrael came to Har Sinai, came to Mount Sinai to accept the Torah, there were a number of prerequisites, so to speak, that the pasuk speaks about. Beginning of Perek Yud Tes, it says the following. It says, "Vayisu miRafidim," they traveled from the city of Rafidim, "Vayavohu midbar Sinai," and they came to the desert of Sinai, "Vayachanu bamidbar," and they camped in the desert, "Vayichan sham Yisrael neged ahar," and the Bnei Yisrael camped there, just beside the mountain. And the Orach Chaim explains, and this is a very, very famous Rashi, says that there are three things in this pasuk that are hinted, that are a prerequisite to Torah, and us being Hashem's nation and accepting the Torah. The first of which is Vayisu miRafidim. The word Rafidim is a terminology that is a borrowed phrase from the words Rafu Yedehem. Their hands were weak. Because there was a time, you're coming out of Mitzrayim, and the Bnei Yisrael were downtrodden, and they were depressed, and they felt abused, and they felt that they just were constantly being battered and shattered and tattered, and it just caused them to weaken their resolve in their commitment to being the Am HaTorah. So the pasuk says, "Vayisu miRafidim." They just got away from the depression. They got away from this release of their strength. They traveled away from it. And sometimes you have to pick yourself up and remove yourself from it. And I say that about our Chavura, because it is a tircha to pick yourself up, pack the children up, drop them by the babysitter, or bring them along, and to come out and say Tehillim, or come out and learn Torah. It's a move. But the Torah says first thing you have to do is pick yourself up and get out there and remove yourself from what's bothering you. The second thing he says, Vayachanu bamidbar, and they camped in the desert. And here, I don't want to try to rub in what Auntie Blanche said a moment ago, but he said, you know what a midbar is, right? A midbar is a desert. In a midbar, there are no tables, there are no chairs. In the midbar, the Bnei Yisrael might have had mun, which is nice yogurt and cream cheese and lox sandwiches, because that's what fell from Shemayim. But let's face it, they were in the midbar, they were in the desert. And the Orach Chaim says is that if you want to live a life of Torah, just understand it's not peaches and cream. You have to be able to lower your standard and say, that's not my priority now. And I think that's really what gets us going. Because you educated us not to be so materialistic. And so did our parents and grandparents, to say, you know something? You don't have to have the designer shoes. We could go to shoe company's clearance outlet and we'll get those over there and it'll be just as fine. Who cares if somebody bought it and returned it? And if they rip after 2 or 3 times, you spend $10 for it. Doesn't matter really. It's okay, but the second one was free, so I know someone that went in there and asked, can I just have like the free ones? Just the second. I just need the second pair. But Vayachanu bamidbar is the second prerequisite. Let's get away from the Rafidim, and then rest in the midbar. Maybe it's even a message from Shemayim. Why do you need a nice fancy place to sit? You're saying Tehillim. You're being committed to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You probably want to stay in the midbar. You know, there's a story like that. Someone was looking for an ani in Bnei Brak to give matanas lavyonim to on Purim. You have to give to a poor person. So he's this very, very wealthy person, mamash a millionaire, and he comes over and he gives like 2 shekel and 47 agorot to this poor person. He's been going to him for years. He gives him his 2 shekel. That's how much you need to buy a meal, slice of pizza, fries, and a drink. So the guy says, can't you give me a little more? He says, something I need to, you know how hard it is to find like a real certified poor person? If I give you too much money, then next year I'm going to have to go run around trying to find somebody else that's poor. So I just give you this amount, and I know next year I'll have you. It's just a mushroom story, right? So who knows? Maybe Hashem puts us into these situations to say, you know what? I don't want to make the life too easy for you. If you want to live this type of a life, then understand that you're not going to. Sometimes you have people that want to learn in Kollel, that when it comes to shidduchim, right? So he wants to learn Kollel for 10 years, but he needs a Cadillac. And he needs his own house, and he needs, an apartment with 4 bedrooms and 2 maids, and a vacation once a year. Sorry, that's what the Aruch Chaim says. That in order to be able to be zeicha to Torah, right, in order to be zeicha to Torah, and to merit, then you need midbar. You need to keep yourself low, like a midbar. We have to be an unknown. We have to have a low lifestyle, and an expectation that doesn't seem to thrive on that. I mean, we could use a new building for the school because there's no place to go to the washroom. But that's a different story. We wish we had what?
I bought a sweet take yesterday.
Yeah, good. We're ready. You have to be careful what you say because you may win.
If I win it, believe me.
Trust me, if any of us win it, you're getting it.
Okay, you got it. Oh wow, that's funny. There was a lady in Tel's Yeshiva in Cleveland, in Chicago. Her name was Mrs. Schwartz. She was about 90 years old, and she was an almana, and she never had any children. So she thrived on the Bachram coming to her for Shabbos. And there was one Bachram that was very, very loyal. He used to always come and he used to always take care. And Friday used to buy her what she needed, and she was able to be independent, but still And she said to me, you're such a sweetie pie. You're such a wonderful boy. And in front of all the Bachram, she once had like 9 boys over for Shabbos. She says, I'm going to come to your wedding no matter where it is. I don't care if it's in Australia. I will come to your chassan. Believe that there, I treat you well. And sure enough, he got engaged to a girl from Melbourne. And Mrs. Evelyn Schwartz got on a plane and she traveled to the chasana. So Auntie Blanche, watch what you say. Hashem listens to those plilos, you never know. And the third, and I think that's really personified this year, the third, Vayichan Sham Yisrael Neged Ahar. Vayichan, singular. Not Vayachanu, not that they can't, but Vayichan. That's the famous Chazal that says, Ki ish echad, v'lev echad. They sort of gelled together, fused together the entire Bnei Yisrael into one. Ki ish echad, v'lev echad. Unconditionally, they got together and they were united, they were strong, they were determined. They said, nothing is going to stand in our way. Those are the prerequisites for Kabbalah Satorah. So if we want to know how we could forgive, maybe it's a test. Maybe it's something that says, let me look at the bright side of things. Maybe it's better off. Maybe I should save my luxuries. I think everybody should go out and buy a gift certificate to the spa. I'm not joking. And take care of yourself one day. Everyone should treat themselves to a manicure and have their hair done. And I'm serious. I'm not joking. Mrs. Ostreicher will be happy to. Everybody could get some. But you know something? That's good for our peace of mind. But when you come to say Tehillim, we're going to put everything aside, just like they do downstairs every day. I don't know how these Rebbes do it. I don't know how the Talmidim do it. They have a certain resilience. But they say, you know something? We're coming to teach Torah. And it may be difficult in the bank, definitely is. It may be hard, like where the children are going to eat, where they're going to play. There's no room in the parking lot. They go out to play. Someone says that you can't play ball here. They have to go back in. And then when they're inside, you can't play ball, so they're playing. I mean, kugelach. I mean, you should see. We are definitely the whole the kugelach stocks are up because that's not just all they can do. Well, the floor is getting a little bit ruined. That's next. But one thing we do know is that we are dedicated, we are determined. We have HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we have the Torah, And most of all, we have each other. And we may not get to speak to each other every day, and we may not get to see each other every day, but by the fact that we all communicate through this common little pipeline, that should give us strength, that should give us gesund, to focus on the nachas. And Mitzvah Shem soon, we'll have Beis HaMikdash in Yerushalayim. I'm sure there's going to be a room there. And in Mitzvah Shem, we will have the Gula, and we will have Yeshuas, and we will have Refuos. And in Mitzvah Shem, we'll all continue together, B'simcha till we meet Mashiach from here.